Hey everybody, Doxon here, and I'm gonna make a quick video. This one is about, as you can see, the fishing artifact, which is right here, Underlight Angler. I'll be talking about several things here because I found that most of the videos I saw were missing the boat on a few things. So I figured I'm gonna try to be as precise as possible in to try to help you guys out. So the uh, the Underlight Angler, you get basically you have to do this achievement, which is right here. Sure, we won't see it, but it's go here. I'll show you quickly. Bigger fish to fry, and you have to catch all the rare fish in Legion. Now that may sound like a really arduous task, but it's not that bad because all the baits that you get usually give you a buff in between 2 to 5 minutes when you use them, and then you have a very good chance to get one at least. I think it's happened only once where I didn't get one, and it was for the axe tail fish. For whatever reason, the first time I got one, I just could not get it. Another thing you want to do before you use that bait is try to make sure that there's at least one pool, at the very least one pool beside you that you can fish in, because that will increase your chances. Also, the arcane lure is very good, especially at the beginning. Just to level fishing, for me, where I was fishing a little bit all over the place, and then all of a sudden I actually started fishing around here. There's this nice little place right next to the retreat here, which is Iron Enclave, I think. No, Iron Grove, sorry. Iron Grove Retreat in Suramar. And then I'm a dead knight, so I could water walk, so it was a bit easier. But with the, I'm sure you can actually do just as well with the water strider. If you don't, then try to follow the coastlines, and it shouldn't be too bad. There's still plenty of fish pools that you can get to without pulling aggro of anything, and that's the best part there. You do not want to pull aggro on anything. So, so I was just doing the pulls here to level up, and it's really fast. You get there's 3 different lures that you can get here. You can get a Murloc type lure, you can get 2 different other ones, which will give you like those items that give you a +5 skill. So basically you just rack up a ton of them and then you just use them right away. Don't, I was thinking about keeping them for the end part of the 800. There's no point. It's like they changed the way fishing works, because before I remember like fishing, like I think it was like in the Burning Crusade. I think you had to, like the last few points, there was like 15 casts if not more to get a point. It doesn't get like that. So you can go through all 800s, and I think it's like 4 or 5 casts at the most to get a point. So it's still gonna go really quickly, and you're gonna keep getting those. I didn't even use the lures for that 800 part, to be honest. So I only used the lures, the arcane lures. Sorry, I should say, for when I needed to pick up all the different other fishes in the entire rest of Legion, because I only really stayed in Suramar, and I did a little bit of fishing in Val'sharah because I was bored waiting for the raid to start. So I would fish like in the pools down here, which had the Moss Guild fish. But besides this, I really I didn't use a whole lot of fishing elsewhere, so I had to go around and start getting those fish out of the water. Or I should say those lures, and then get the rare fish. So once you've done that achievement, right, now you actually basically I went back to Suramar, so casting into pools, really important, to get the Pearl quest item. And then literally I went in my first pool, and within 4 casts I had it. So that easy. Then you go do the quest. It's a little scenario with Nat, Pagel, and you basically end up killing a Murloc, and then that's how you get the Cane Murloc design stuff. So, but now let's get to the actual good part, which is the artifact, which I think a lot of people didn't really talk about, so I wanted to actually go over that. So this is the artifact. I'm gonna try to move that away. Probably not. Let's move that here. Just making a couple of little things. Put a nice little white board. Just to demonstrate everything. So here's our artifact. The first talent is Undercurrent. Undercurrent sounds like a really great talent, but it's not, because it's a 5-minute cooldown. The other thing I don't like is it spawns you directly on top of the pool. So you have to move again. So if you're really close to the pool, don't even bother using that thing, because it's gonna basically be a loss of time, which is sad to say, but it's really true. So Undercurrent, really, when you're like, when you look at your mini map, if you really see that it's gonna be close, then yeah, sure, use it. But I would not use it all the time. Also, when you use it, it has a chance to give you a barrel, which I'll go into details afterwards because we have to. So the next one is blood fishing. Now, very disappointed in that one because it doesn't give you much. Like, it's very, very, very few bloods that you get from fishing. You can fish a ton, like I did last night, and this is not going to give you that many procs. So again, don't think of this as a, oh my god, I'm going to make my life over here. It ain't going to happen. So you have two choices. You can go this route, which gives you this time better luck next time, and then also Way of the Flounders. Better luck next time drops boots, and so far it's been just gray boots, so it's stuff that you vendor between like 5 or 7 gold so far. Again, maybe eventually I'll get something better, I don't know, but for now that's been only garbage, which tells me something that you can wait for. Way of the Flounders, if you're not a shaman or a DK and you actually have to go on the shores and have more chances to aggro, this might be nice to reduce your aggro range. But again, that's not the first one I went for. So what I went for is this guy here because I like this area here. I thought this area in Suramar works really, really great. There's pools everywhere. Like, I never run out of pools. Unless somebody else is fishing with me, I never run out of pools, and it's rare that I see somebody fishing with me. So I picked the Rune Scale Koi Angling. Now, what happens is when you're fishing, there's a chance that in the pool, there's a chance that that pool will just become a barrel. And then you can loot the barrel. And the barrel will have a ton of fish, maybe some lures. Like, it can have multiple of the same lure too, which is rare, but it can happen as well. You can't loot both, but what's great with the barrels is that if, let's say, your inventory is full, or you can't loot what's in there, it will go to your mailbox. So you never lose anything that's in those barrels. So make sure you remember that part. So for me, it really was because I wanted these two. This one I already kind of have, and this one I wanted to see what it looks like. The underwater fishing mount is, well, it's not the mount, but anyways, that's the form. It is really quick. Like, I can see myself using that with actually surface tension. Besides, I wouldn't even use the Path of Frost from DK. I would just use that because it really is very fast. You just basically dive under, you're automatically in shark form, and you just can go like super fast. Let me show you quickly here. But that's the form. Like, now I'm on my mount side.
The old kitchen patriarch.
So it's really quick, and then let's say I'm saying, oh, I see a pool right here. Come to the surface, jump. Oh, there you go.
You cannot
I'm on top. I have my
danger.
surface tension buff, and I'm ready to start fishing. I'll just fish again to show you. There you go, barrel right off the bat. It doesn't matter. Like, it seems like you proc a lot of barrels. Like, I would say like 90% of all the pools that I harvest, I get a barrel from, or just about. It's really, really high percentage. And it doesn't mean it's on the first one. It can be on the last one, and it doesn't mean that your barrel's going to be depleted because it's your basically last cast, last fish. It's still going to give you a full barrel of stuff if you actually when you get the barrel. Doesn't matter when. So again, really good to know. Let me go back to... And it's always happening at the beginning of the cast when you can't just repeatedly cast until it pops. It won't work. So there you go for that. let me show you the. That's the undercurrent town that I talked about earlier. It will spot. It will put you right on top of one. There you go. So again, depending on where you are, it really is useless. Just make sure that there's no pool really close at all, so that it's at least a little bit worth your time. Because 5 minutes, again, you're not gonna have one for a while. So let's go back to our talent tree. So now you know what the barrels are like. So again, there's 3 points. So the more you put into that, the more chances of barrels. So I went for this one again because that's my favorite spot. And again, to level the artifact, basically all those fish that you were using to actually get those 5 points into your fishing skills, now you use them at the fountain in Dalaran, where now actually because you got the pearl, they put a nice little pearl above the fountain, and you basically toss your fish in there, or your rare fish, I should say, in there, and then it will give you 50 artifact power every time you do that, and you can get quite a bit from doing that. So let's keep fishing because and again I already covered everything else. So we're just gonna fish a little bit more. I want to show you guys a few more things. So do I have a good lure? I don't think I have one. Yeah, I don't have one. So I'm gonna have to get a lure, which again, see, like 2 pulls right there in 10 seconds. 7 fish or something like that. Oh, nice. I have to get the reflex of using my fish mount. It's actually pretty darn fast. I also get, oh that's right, I forgot. I also, because I'm in this area, I get lay scale koi, and they award you with 25 of the ancient mana. So if you're actually on a character that needs to get that damn freaking appearance from withered training, then that can get you capped on that really, really fast. It really works well. The other thing too is if you actually, like I cap all the time. I capped last night twice without even really realizing it, because you get those constantly. Now, if let's say you get a barrel and it's full of fish and you have no room in your inventory, like that stuff's gonna go to your email box. Then keep those lay scale fish there. Don't touch them. Like wait for later, because again, you're gonna cap really, really fast, and then you're gonna be like, fuck, I don't have anywhere to put them. I have to get them out because I'm not gonna get any artifact power. So yeah, at this point in the game, I don't use the arcane lure. Now, if let's say for whatever reason I can't seem to catch a break and get a good pull, I might just get the lure from what's his name, Mongroves or Morgroves. He's the fishing guy in Dalaran. You basically go into the underbelly, and then there's a little area there where there's a pool, and there's also a shark and all that stuff. Well, there's the green pools there. Just keep fishing them, and eventually you'll get a seal that looks like the medallion of the Legion. Same kind of image. So frost, but then again, I don't need to. So I'm just following my little route. I'm gonna go all the way down there. There's usually another one there. There's none this time. If there isn't, I go right across. It's the area where you have the quest to return the little kittens back to their mother, and then there's also that Eden over there. Like, it's really beside that Eden, there's nothing around here. It's really quiet. And then I get back, and then I guarantee you my pulls are all the way back out. So that's why I like this place. It's really easy to. Again, you also, if you don't know, rune scale koi is really good for haze food, which is one of the good foods to have. So even if it's not for you specifically, you can definitely sell it. It requires surf and turf to make the final product, which is one of the recipes you actually have to look up on Wowhead, or you're probably not going to get anything. Unless you think about killing a deer. See, there are 3 pools, and again, not anything. Sometimes there's a penter or 2 here and there, but they're usually killed by people, part of either questing or just aggroing mobs and stuff. So again, if you're having problems getting a lure like I am right now, I would just go straight to Dalaran. You can, again, if you don't want to do the underbelly, you can actually go above the main tower in Dalaran where Khadgar is hiding. You can go there, and then you can actually from there you can actually fly with your kite all the way to the island where he's at, and that saves you that part if you don't want to do that. Might have to do this because I'm not getting the fish. Yesterday though, I was farming this all night, and all I was doing was I had 1 lure, and that was enough. It seems like I was getting a bunch of lures all the time, constantly. And the other thing that I'm going to mention while we're here, it's like, this here, right? So it says increases the duration of Legion lures and baits by 8% for every trade purchased. So you, the more you purchase, the longer that bait time is. Like, as we start at 2 minutes, and then now I'm at like 4, almost 5 minutes. Like, you just keep putting points in there, and it just gets really good. The thing is, at the beginning, it's really quick using this method, and then eventually you get to a point, like the last 2 or so artifact traits were fairly long to get. Like, my next one is 11.2k, and it's all these fish are 50 artifact power each, so unless you're getting procs, you're gonna be there for a while. I'm kind of surprised I haven't got a lure yet. Really am. I don't think I've ever been this long. Probably because I make the video. But anyway, I'm gonna keep going it, and that's basically it. If you're not getting the lures, just go get an arcane lure or 2. They last 10 minutes, and you should get lures very quickly from your pools. Make sure that your inventory is as empty as possible. That's my empty inventory right here. It's not very empty, but I wish it was more. The only other things I wanted to mention is the Murloc, because the Murloc is a bit different. You get 3 lures. One of them is a Murloc lure. And this one is a little different. What you don't want to do is use it near a pool or near an area where there's vegetation like this. Do not do that to yourself. Here's a boot there. Those are the boots I'm talking about earlier. I thought I had one for sure. Nope. So again, those unless they can drop an epic or something of that kind, it's not worth it. I'm getting as you can see, that's a lot. Like, that's 100. That's already 250 in ancient mana. So that's a byproduct of what I'm trying to do already. So that's what I like about this, is that I'm getting a ton of stuff that I would not want to do, but I really want the damn freaking hidden artifact. So that's a way to get encouraged a little bit. Not having to dismount. I can get aggro. I can kill stuff. Like, I'm just fishing. Quiet. Not many. Not much around me. Most people are just harvesting pretty flowers. Anyways, I'm gonna make another video once I get all the lures, because obviously I was not expecting that to happen at all. Okay, this is basically almost my full run there. Then I go back, and usually when I get to the bridge, they're back up. Another good thing to have is like a Death Knight, a monk, something like that. See, that's my first blood so far, and since we started, so not many bloods. So yeah, if you get the Murloc, go to what I usually do is when I go to the fountain in Dalaran, there's a little shop to the right. I go up on the second level and I unleash him there. But again, depends. If there's a lot of people around the pool or the fountain, don't do that, because as soon as if he gets out of the shop, everybody's gonna try to steal your fish. It's kind of like a foxflower fox. Like when you get a foxflower, there's a chance you get a fox, and the fox starts running with pretty flowers like everywhere, and you have to pick them up. Everybody can pick them up. It's the same thing, same concept with the Murloc. And again, you do not unleash him in the water, because the fish is going to be at all kinds of different levels, and you're going to be struggling to get it all. It's almost impossible to get them all in time. They do despawn pretty quickly when they're considering they're in the water. So again, don't do that to yourself. And again, don't do it there, because you won't see your fish. It's going to be smothered in the grass. And they usually drop quite a bit. Like, you can easily get between 9 to 20 fish from one Murloc. Some people are saying to I heard some people saying to get the fish from Asuna or Stormheim that gives you that one pool that you can harvest for 5 minutes. I just don't see how that's better. Like right now I can see why, because I'm not getting the lure, but once you have a lure, it just runs really, really smooth. So get an arcane lure, I guess, at the very worst to get you started, but after that you should have no problems keeping up.
Having trouble herding his kittens back home. Looking too low.
Again, thanks for watching, and see you guys
You
later.
cannot possibly leave them in danger.